What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in Atlanta Falcons news, cornerback Clark Phillips, the Falcons did dodge a bullet with him. He did go down yesterday at practice in the joint practice between the Miami Dolphins and our Atlanta Falcons. He went down with an ankle injury, but we got good news that Clark Phillips is not a serious ankle injury. So he should be back with our team, possibly late in this preseason, but definitely I expect him to be back during the regular season to recover from the ankle injury. They did say that he's day-to-day, but it's really good news for our Atlanta Falcons to get Clark Phillips back at some point. As we know, Jeff Okudah will be coming back with the team as well at some point during the regular season, early in the regular season. So the Falcons have dodged two bullets when it comes to these injuries. As we know, injuries are a part of the game, but Clark Phillips was one of those guys. Both him and Jeff Okudah were having really good training camps, and I was looking forward to seeing those guys this season. And we have a really, really good secondary. So it's definitely good news to hear that Clark Phillips' injury isn't serious and that he should be back at some point. But with that being said, I also do want to give my thoughts on the Falcons' second joint practice with the Miami Dolphins, which took place today. And things got a little chippy today in this second joint practice. They did say David Onyemata got into it with a couple of the offensive linemen for the Miami Dolphins, and there was like 2 or 3 scuffles that took place at practice today. Good news is there were no injuries, and they were able to break up the scuffles pretty quickly, which is good news because we have seen in the past where during these joint practices things can get out of hand. Players can get injured during these training camp fights and scuffles. So I'm glad to hear that no one got injured, but things did get really chippy and competitive. Today, Desmond Ridder was the star for our Atlanta Falcons. They said he played really well today in the 7-on-7 drills. He did complete majority of his passes. I seen Cordell Patterson have a touchdown catch. I seen Mac Hollins, who's been balling this whole training camp. He actually had a nice touchdown catch from Taylor Heineke during the 7-on-7 drills. So it's been a lot of great things going on at these joint practices. In Atlanta Falcons offense, they did state that Desmond Ridder was really, really sharp today. Also, on the defensive side of the ball, we've been really, really good in the trenches, is from what I'm hearing at these joint practices. They did also state that Jalen Hawkins came away with an interception during practice today during their 2-minute drill. And it sounds like this secondary of our Atlanta Falcons have really been, our defense as a whole has been dominating these joint practices, but our secondary, they said they've been playing really, really tight coverage. They look really, really good during these joint practices, and they stated that our defensive line has been getting pressure consistently. So I'm definitely looking forward to Friday's preseason game to see how that translates over, to see how many sacks we're able to get and how much pressure we're able to put on the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. Coach Arthur Smith did state today that our starters will play at some point during training camp. They haven't decided whether they'll play Friday night against the Miami Dolphins. They said they're going to debate that tomorrow. The coaching staff, they're going to decide if they are going to play the starters. Coach Arthur Smith did state if guys like Desmond Ridder play in this first preseason game, of course he's going to have that starting offensive line out there to protect Desmond Ridder. But I expect guys like Bijan Robinson to get some snaps. I expect a lot of these young guys, especially the guys that are competing to make the team. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these guys. Josh Ali is one of the wide receivers that has really been catching the coach's eye. I've heard his name come up numerous times during this training camp and during these joint practices. They stated that he's been really balling out. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in these preseason games to see how he translates over in these games. But I definitely will also drop a video tomorrow and give my thoughts on what I'm looking forward to in Friday's preseason game. But there's been a really good, these two practices were really good to allow these players to get out there and face different opponents that use different techniques, being that they've been practicing just against our defense versus our offense. The coaching staff has stated that it's good, and even the players have stated that it's been good to get out there and play against other players from another team to actually see how well they can actually go out there and do things when it's not someone that is familiar, with the routes, the type of routes that they run, familiar with their body language, familiar with the plays that they've been running as far as the offense, the defense, kind of having an idea of what our offense is going to do, our first offense versus our first defense. So they stated it's been really good to actually get out there and play against another team to actually see how well some of the plays that we run, even though it's a lot of vanilla offense and vanilla defense, you're not really seeing a whole lot of blitzes or anything out of the norm. You're basically just going out there and having guys compete in these one-on-one drills. It's still really good to get out there and play against other players that don't know our players and see how your technique holds up and things of that nature. So I'm really looking forward to this preseason game this Friday. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on these two joint practices. What do you think about today's joint practice and yesterday's joint practice? I definitely will have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.